Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing really well. Firstly, I just want to apologise. I am not very well, like I'm so sniffly. I don't know what it is, like it's not COVID, I've been double jabbed and stuff, and I think there is just like a bit of a cold going around at the moment, but sorry if I keep sniffling, it's annoying for me as well. But anyway, moving on from that, today's video is going to be a second-hand thrifted book haul. Again, this isn't really fashion content, and I know I haven't done fashion content properly for a little while on my channel. I promise it will be back, but it's just like very intense to film sometimes, and I've been quite busy recently. But I thought I'd do a thrifted book haul for you guys today because I've just been buying so many books recently. I feel like once autumn hits, I just get into the mindset of like, I need to spend all of my time reading, which isn't a bad thing. Yeah, I've bought quite a few books, which kind of is actually a bad thing because I already have so many books that I haven't read, and I'm buying books at a much quicker rate than I'm reading them. So yeah, that's not good. I'm gonna need to buy a bigger bookshelf. But anyway, I thought I'd show you guys. So a lot of the books that I've bought are from Facebook. I don't know if people utilize Facebook as much as they should, but there are tons of big groups on Facebook all about buying and selling and like swapping books and stuff. I don't tend to really swap books that much because I think it's quite rare that I'll find a book from someone who also wants a book from me. But yeah, I buy books from there all the time, and if you buy several from one person, you can like save on like postage costs and stuff like that. Got a load of books from Facebook, and then I actually went to a bookshop today. I went to Barter Books in Alnwick. I don't know if any of you guys know it. Alnwick is a really lovely place. They filmed a lot of Harry Potter there, and Barter Books is like this massive old railway station that they've converted into a bookshop. At the beginning of November, I'm going to be putting up a vlog of like best bits from my autumn, and I did kind of vlog a bit today, so you'll be able to see that then if you hold on until the beginning of November. Yeah, I'm just gonna jump straight in with this haul and stop rambling on because I've got a lot of books to show you. So I thought I'd start with the books I got from the bookshop today. They're a bit random. The bookshop was very big. It's a little difficult to navigate and we didn't have tons of time, so I couldn't have a proper look. But I got some interesting things. So the first book I got is by Stephen Toulmin, and it's called Reason in Ethics. So this was in the philosophy section, and I actually studied philosophy and ethics at A level, and it was so interesting. And I also studied like English literature and economics at A level, and I found them all so interesting, but I feel like a lot of the time once you come out of education, you don't really have like the time or the effort or the resources to learn about stuff like that. But I do really miss learning about it because I did find it interesting. So I thought I'd get a book about ethics. It seems like pretty entry level. I wouldn't maybe say entry level, but like it's a bit broader than some of the other ones that were available, but I'm excited to read this one. It's not too big. And then this next one is a bit funny. So basically it's a book of selected poetry by W.B. Yeats. Now I saw this and I thought, oh, I've read poems by him before, like, and I really enjoyed them, so I'll get a book because I've been wanting to read a bit more poetry. And then I was driving home and I thought, I'm sure his name was John, not W.B. I don't know what that stands for, William or whatever. Turns out I was thinking of John Keats, not Yeats. So this is actually an Irish poet, but I think he is still sort of like one of the Romantics poets. And it sounds interesting anyway. I mean, it might be a little more difficult for me to understand, but it'll be interesting to read. And I feel like I've been reading so much stuff from Irish authors this year. But something I really like in this book is it's got like notes in the margin. And I know some people don't like that, but I think that's so cute because you get an insight of what the last owner sort of thought of it. But yeah, this is by Yeats and it's selected poetry, and this should be a fun read. Oh, and both of those books were £3.60 each. And then this last book I got from the bookshop is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I haven't read this, I don't think. I've read Wuthering Heights, but not this one. This was only £1.80, which is just insanely cheap. It's a classic. I have been wanting to read more classics. I was sort of hoping to pick up some more classics in there, but it's just such a massive bookshop and we didn't have much time to look through it all, which is fine. But I am really excited to read this. I think this should be a nice cozy read, and like I said, I've been wanting to read more classics. So moving on to the books I got from Facebook, these are all a lot more modern, and these might appeal to a bit of a wider audience maybe. A lot of these are sort of like trending sort of books as well. So the first one I got is Ghosts by Dolly Alderton. I've wanted to read this for so long. I haven't actually read any books from Dolly Alderton yet, but I know that a lot of people say she's fairly similar to Sally Rooney, and I do really like Sally Rooney's books. Yeah, I'm excited to read this, and she's also got a book called Everything I Know About Love, and that was her first sort of like big book, and I haven't read that yet, but I would like to read that. But yeah, I'm excited to read this one. And then the next book I got is by Kylie Reid, and it's called Such a Fun Age. Again, this is like very much a trending book. So it says on the back, when Amira is apprehended at a supermarket for kidnapping the white child she's actually babysitting, her employee Alex resolves to make things right. So begins a crash course that will upend everything they think they know about themselves, each other, and the messy dynamics of privilege. So I think that's a really fun thing to read. I think it's important to read books about like privilege and racism and stuff, but sometimes the non-fiction books can be a bit heavy. So a fiction book I think would be not more light-hearted, but just a bit of an easier read. So I'm really excited to read this, and this has really good reviews as well. And the next book I got, I think these three were all from the same seller, but the next book I got is Grown Ups by Marianne Keyes. Now, I did not realise how big this is. It's almost 600 pages, and I've never read a book that big, but so many people have recommended this book. Lots of people in my family have already read it, and they've said it's good. I think it's about So there's 3 girls and they're married to 3 brothers. It says 3 very different women tied to 3 very different men. Every family occasion is a party until the day the secrets spill out. So yeah, I think it's quite a juicy one. I think it can be a bit complicated with like all the different people. My mum's read it and she said make sure you follow the family tree at the beginning. So yeah, this will be interesting to read. I like books like this where they're a bit mysterious. Yeah, it's a hefty one. And then the next few books I got. So the first one from this seller is called Ellen. I used to always read this in my head as Affiant, but it's not. Is Eleanor Oliphant is completely fine. So this sounds really interesting. I think this came out a little while ago, not too long ago. So it says that the character leads a very simple life. She's happy, nothing is missing, except sometimes everything. I don't know where I got this idea, but I think she might be an alcoholic. I don't know, maybe I just made that up. But yeah, this sounds really interesting as well. Obviously, like I haven't read any of these books, so I can't comment too much on them. But again, there's good reviews on that one, and that is written by Gail Honeyman. And I did look on Amazon and the reviews are good for that, and I think it is Book of the Year for the British Book Awards, which is a good achievement, I guess. Next book I got from this seller is by John Green, and I like John Green. It's a bit of a guilty pleasure. Well, not guilty, there's nothing to be guilty about, but I do really like John Green's books, and I got Will Grayson, Will Grayson. So this is about 2 teenagers with the same name, and yeah, I don't really know too much about this book, but like it's a typical sort of young adult teenage book. Probably going to be a bit of romance in there maybe. I don't know, but I love books like this. I just find them so nice when it's like a nice little easy, well, it's not little, it's still fairly chunky, but a nice easy read, something to look forward to reading. And then the next book I got from this seller is by Shari Lapina, and it's called The Couple Next Door. Now, I've heard so many good things about this book. I have another book similar to this that I haven't read yet called The House We Grew Up In, and it gives me similar vibes. So this book sounds so interesting. It's not too big either, which is a good thing because it means you can get through it fairly quickly. So I think basically there's this couple and they've got a 6-month-old baby, and their neighbours invite them over for dinner, and the neighbours say, can you leave your baby at home because we don't want to listen to it crying and stuff. So they do, and I think they've got a baby monitor or whatever, and then when they get home the baby's gone. So I don't really know where it goes from that, but I think it's meant to be a very gripping book, which is obviously like a good thing in a book because it means you want to keep reading. But I think I might read this one next, actually, when I've finished my current book that I'm reading, which is called How to Fail, which apparently is working because I'm failing at everything. And then the next book, and this is actually the final book I got from this seller and I got at all, and it's by Matt Haig, and I absolutely love Matt Haig so much. His book called Reasons to Stay Alive, I read that a long time ago and I loved it so much, and I don't know if anyone's seen on Instagram when they do those things where you have to like buy a book for a stranger, but I bought a book for a stranger and I bought him the book called Reasons to Stay Alive by Matt Haig because I just thought it was such a nice book, and you don't have to be struggling to read it because I think it gives you a good insight into other people with mental health struggles as well, and I think it would help a lot of people on different levels of like the mental health spectrum, like specifically depression and stuff. But yeah, that's such a lovely book. But anyway, the book I got from Matt Haig is called The Midnight Library, and I've wanted to read this for so long now. I absolutely love his style of writing. Obviously, Reasons to Stay Alive was a non-fiction, and I think this is a fiction. So it says, Nora's life has been going from bad to worse. Then, at the stroke of midnight on her last day on Earth, she finds herself transported to a library. There she is given the chance to undo her regrets and try out each of the other lives she might have lived, which raises the ultimate question, with infinite choices, what's the best way to live? And I think this will be like an interesting read as like the actual book, like the fiction book, but I think it will have a really good message behind it as well, and I do like books that make you think about it afterwards. So yeah, this sounds really good and I might read this next after I read this one. Okay guys, so that is all of the books I got. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry I couldn't talk about the books too much, but obviously I've not read them, so I don't really know what they're about too much, and I didn't want to just sit and like read off descriptions to you guys because that's not interesting. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know that my channel is mostly fashion, even so I've been so rubbish at uploading like styling videos and stuff recently, but I absolutely love reading and I love films and TV and stuff like that as well, and I just think when I'm so passionate about something like that, I can't not post it on my channel. So hopefully you enjoyed this video anyway. I mean, even if you are not a fan of like reading that much, I think everyone should read. Like I think everyone would benefit from reading, so maybe pick up a book this autumn and give it a read and just take some time off of your phone. I don't know why I'm giving you a pep talk now, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave it a big thumbs up and leave me a nice comment down below and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed already, I would really appreciate it if you did. My goal for this month is 750 subscribers and we are a little bit away from that, so I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe because it makes my day and it makes me really, really happy. But yeah, that's all for now. I'm gonna love you and leave you, and I should, fingers crossed, see you sometime soon with a new video. I don't know, just turn the notification bell on and you'll see when I upload again. But yeah, that's all for now. I love you very much. Goodbye.